And welcome back to Game 4, Day 1 of the Turing Cup here in Northampton, hosted by Rebellion Roller Derby. I'm Dort Mistress.
And I'm Toxic Lady. Hello.
Hello, and so up next we have Roller Derby Madrid All-Stars up against Amsterdam Roller Derby All-Stars. So, for Madrid, who do we have today, Toxic Lady?
So, for Madrid, we have number 013 Blondie Hater, 019 Ali Chaos, 10 Feminatriz, 112 Colerica Sara, 33 Little Cat, 416 Arizona, 52 Baby Killer, 61 Echa de Odin, 71 Garida, 81 NG, 86 Hawaii, 877 Mariquita, 88 Nenasa, and 92 Dame Veneno.
And for Amsterdam Roller Derby, we have 011 Bloody, 10 Whipping Red Siren, 105 Ferocious, 1212 Major Knox, 1998 Devious Dewi, 221 Shelock Holmes, 23 Dalai Drama, 246 Pop Rocks, 51 Versten, 53 Veer Pressure, 68 Lee's Lightning, 71 Need for Swede, 711 Peekaboo Panda, the captain, and 77 Curse of the Black Pearl. And officiating this afternoon, we have Slain, Big Whoop, Tiny Tearaway on their 150th game as an official.
Happy birthday.
And we thank every official giving up the weekend, but 150 games is a big achievement. Stump'em, Russ, Lucas, Dr. Watt, and Saz.
And for the NSOs, Hannah, Lindsay Needles, Law Have Mercy, another Hannah, I don't know, Domination, Lola Rock'n'Roller, Mini Hawker, Lamish Tsitsi, Dorlin Gray, Lauren Smackhole, Ginger Snaps, and Elevator. And it's 1 minute to Derby.
So this is the Turing Cup. So we have 4 teams playing each other all weekend. Roller Derby Madrid coming in as the number 2 seed. Amsterdam coming in as the number 3 seed. In terms of WFTDA rankings, Madrid are 102 and Amsterdam are 114, so very close. And in fact, in European WFTDA rankings, they are right next to each other. So, Flat Track Stats is predicting that Madrid will take the win and that for every 19 points that Amsterdam score, Madrid should score 25. But we have seen nothing really go to plan so far this weekend. They last played on the 27th of April 2019, and Amsterdam took the win at 168, Madrid on 146. So I think Flat Track Stats definitely predicting that Madrid are on the up.
Yes, but what we've seen today in this tournament is that Flat Stack can be wrong.
These are 4 very, very closely matched teams across this weekend of the Turing Cup. And so we are waiting to see what this game is going to bring. That's the starting whistle. So on the jam line for Amsterdam, we have Peekaboo Panda up against
Number 92 Dame Veneno for Madrid.
I apologise for all that I am going to do wrong to that name in the next hour. So, first whistle underway, and it is Amsterdam with the line at the back, but Dame Veneno finding a gap on the outside and picking up lead jammer for Madrid.
Very quickly done, actually.
But we have... Oh, but that is a penalty for Peekaboo Panda. So Peekaboo Panda getting out of the pack, but picking up a cut track penalty while doing so. So we have Dame Veneno on a scoring pass and picking up the full 4 points. The pack is at the turn of at turn 1. Amsterdam tricking Dame Veneno, thinking that there was a gap on the outside line, but that was Dalai Drama who closed that down with the recycle. Back in the pack. This has been a very effective penalty kill by Amsterdam. Madrid with Ferocious, trying to keep Ferocious as a go to the back. Dame Veneno still trying to get through on that scoring pass, hit out and recycle for the 3rd time back to turn 1. But Peekaboo Panda out of the box, out of the pack, completes her initial pass and forces that call off.
Yeah, so Dame Veneno managed to do to pass twice on the outside very quickly and once on the inside, and she waited very carefully that Peekaboo finished her initial pass and to let her hope that she could score some points, and then she called it.
So that's 8 points for Madrid on that first jam. definitely putting the points on the board, trying to say this is our game. So on the jam line, the Hive Skate Shop jam line, we have Ninaza for Madrid up against Pop Rocks for Amsterdam.
Very close number. I was looking at the rosters. I was like, who's who?
So still waiting for the lead jammer to be awarded, but it is Madrid pushing out up front. Pop Rocks stuck behind that Madrid wall at the back, and it is Nanaza who picks up lead jammer for Madrid. So second jam in a row with Madrid in lead. That's a way to start a game.
And it's for these two teams, these are their second games of the day, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Some teams during this tournament are playing only one game today and two tomorrow, but these players have already sweat a lot today.
So it is Nanaza who is pushing out up front. Amsterdam have a blocker in the box. I think Nanaza giving herself a chance to calm down with that recycle. But it is Pop Rocks who is off to the penalty box. Second Amsterdam blocker in the box, which is going to give Nanaza that advantage.
With Ira de Odin, who helped her jammer very effectively, allowing with an assist her to get through the pack.
But we're on turn 2, and Nanaza goes, I've had enough of this. I am going to call the jam.
With 4 points scored by Madrid on this jam, and a none by Amsterdam, still at 0 for 12 for Madrid. When did you say that there was the last time that these two teams met?
It was in April 2019, so just over a year ago.
With Pop Rocks jamming for Amsterdam and against Madrid, it is, I can't see her number.
It is Arizona who is jamming for Madrid and having a tough time getting through the pack. That is a very tight pack up around the pivot line. But Pop Rocks now scoring points in the pack. Arizona still pushing out up front, but is now hit out and recycled back to behind the pivot line.
Very energetic, I don't know, game from the players. You can see that they are really refreshed and ready to get on. It's a very fast and speedy actions on both jammers and blockers.
So Arizona hit out and recycled, was looking for a penalty, but the officials didn't agree. And so that is a wall of Devious Doughy and Ferocious at the back facing off against Arizona. Pop Rocks able to get out and pick up lead jam for Amsterdam.
Arizona taking off her cover, trying to do a stash, or maybe, yes, it's a star pass with Pop Rocks Hawaii taking on the helmet.
So yes, Hawaii now jamming for Madrid, and we have Pop Rocks out on second scoring pass, about to start. But Hawaii has also completed a scoring pass. So even though Amsterdam have lead, they've decided to let this jam run long. They've had enough now, and that is both teams picking up points. But it is 7 points for Amsterdam, 4 points for Madrid, 16 now playing 7. So I think the first jam we've seen in this game where Amsterdam have put on more points than Madrid. So on the Hive Skate Shop jam line, we have Curse of the Black Pearl jamming for the first time for Amsterdam up against Feminatrix for Madrid.
Yeah, Feminatrix, who also jammed a lot of jams in her previous game and scored a lot for Madrid. With a very tight pack and a bit dissociated. I can't see any wall in this pack. And with the Curse of the Black Pearl being recycled at the end of the pack, way behind the jammer line, while we have a Madrid blocker being sent to the penalty box.
That was a big hit out on Black Pearl by Bambi killer, but Black Pearl able to come back on track. Hit out again by Madrid. Madrid really excelling at one-on-one defense at them in this jam. Meanwhile, Feminatrix neither has completed initial pass.
None of them.
No, we are still waiting on Lee Jammer, and it's been nearly a minute into this jam. It just shows the strength of the defense. As I say that, Curse of the Black Pearl picking up Lee Jam for Amsterdam.
While the pivot for Madrid is being sent to the penalty box, and that the pack is rushing with the Madrid jammer getting out of the pack as well.
So Feminatrix now coming to the pack to score points for Madrid. Curse of the Black Pearl also in the pack on the same scoring pass. Brushes off that big hit, manages to stay on her skates and completes for 4 points. Feminatrix still in the pack.
And being recycled at the end of it with a very stretchy pack done by the Amsterdam players, and we see a back block.
So we're on turn 4, and it is still Feminatrix trying to battle through. Does pick up the 4 points, so that is both teams scoring 4 points in that last jam. But I think Feminatrix had to work harder for it.
Yeah, that was in the corner, but we didn't see any. Oh, you can be.
Sorry, we're just
you
checking
have technological problems.
technical issues. So it is 4 points for each team in that jam. So on the Hive Skate Shop jam line, we have Dame Veneno for Madrid up against Curse of the Black Pearl again. And it is Dame Veneno who has picked up lead jammer for Madrid. Meanwhile, Curse of the Black Pearl sat in the penalty box. It was a power jam start.
Can you hear me now?
So the teams lining themselves up on turn 1. It is Amsterdam with that wall up front, but Madrid are trying to hold back Sherlock Holmes as a goat, trying to keep the pack in that turn 1, but Curse of the Black Pearl has been released from the box and is now in the pack. Meanwhile, Dame Veneno has also picked up a penalty, so is in the penalty box. This is now a 2-minute jam. Curse of the Black Pearl trying to make the most, completing her initial pass and now coming into the pack on the apex to score points, getting the offense in from the rest of her ARD teammates. And that inside line was kept clear up until the front, so it's 3 Madrid blockers in front. And Curse of the Black Pearl getting some offense from number 23, Dalai Drama. But both jammers are now out and in the pack.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
And that is a tight pack. Not much ability for the teammates to move around, but those walls are absolutely solid, holding back the jammers. Sherlock Holmes going for the offense to try and free up Curse of the Black Pearl.
She can't hear me.
And that's Dame Veneno going in really low, trying to find some space on the outside, but Ferocious and her teammates held her back. So what a sticky end to that jam.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No. I can hear myself. That's the thing. So
So while we're lining up for the next jam, we're just checking all the technical aspects on this fantastic setup with Rebellion Roller Derby, who have put on this stream for us this weekend.
Hello. I can hear myself, but she can't hear me. And I can hear her as well. Hello. I can hear her.
So we're just checking the technicals.
No, I can't hear her, actually.
So
oh, yes, I can.
We are 24 points to Madrid, 14 points to Amsterdam. We have had 11 minutes of this game.
The easy way to do this is to swap the headphones over.
Okay. Oh,
So we're in a team
Can you hear
timeout
me?
position.
can you hear me? No, it doesn't seem that she can.
I think it's the headphones.
Oh, it's the headphones. Okay.
Right.
We're here, we're ready. We can work through the technical
Yep.
issues.
Yeah. Right.
Can you hear me now?
We have resolved our technical difficulties. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
to the production team here who've been amazing all weekend.
Let's go back to the game. That's really more interesting than us looking at each other and saying, I don't hear you, but I can hear myself.
So veer pressure on the jam line for Amsterdam for the first time at this game.
Versus 88 Nanasa jamming for Madrid with Eric Barker on the pack. That's starting to stretch a little bit between the jammer line and the pivot line, with forearm being whistled to an Amsterdam blocker, and she's sent to the penalty box.
To Thurston. So we are having quite a tentative start to this jam, but both jammers engaged with their walls on turn one. Madrid have the line at the back, Amsterdam the line up front. But it's all switching around as it becomes one pack. But that's some fantastic one-on-one blocking by Major Knox, who hits out and recycles Nanasa all the way almost to the jam line. Veer pressure still pushing up front. But but I think it's... we're finally seeing the offense go in from Madrid, because I was expecting to see one of the Madrid team fall back. Amsterdam haven't been able to do that because number 51 Viston was in the box, but she is released and she's back on track.
And we have tripods holding very, very tightly both jammers just during the first turn of the track. And we can see them moving a little bit, but Veer Pressure and Nanasa are eyeing each other, eyeing the tripods, and really thinking about how they're going to go through them or around them, but it's very difficult.
So we have 1.5 minutes gone in this jam, no lead jammer, and we haven't even gone past turn two. So that's just the strength of the defense of these two teams, very, very equally matched.
And very impressive. Only 10 points difference in the first, already almost a quarter of an hour.
Yeah. So both jammers struggling with the defense, and the jam comes to an end. 2 minutes of just pure torture for jammers.
And achieving nothing in terms of points. So frustrating.
So we stay at 24-14, and we have 16.5 minutes left in this half. On the Hive Skatebox jam line, we have Peekaboo Panda for Amsterdam up against Arizona for Madrid. And it is a jam line scrum start. It's Madrid with the rear line. We have Amsterdam with their wall up front. And again, it's Devious Derry working with Ferocious to be that phenomenal wall up front for Amsterdam, but it is a cut penalty for Arizona. This is now a power jam to Amsterdam. Chance for them to close down the gap.
With very nice action from the blocker Devious Dewi, also who recycled back at the pack. And the Amsterdam jammer is really trying to get through the Madrid blockers, with the pivot from Madrid being set to the batting box. And Peekaboo Panda is through engaging the lead jammer status.
So that, and is through in the packs, scoring points, but facing that Madrid wall up front. So what we've seen is that when the walls conform into that three, they are impenetrable. They are just absolutely solid. These teams are so well matched on defense. So it's going to be, how do you break that up? How do you get through that?
And the jammers are really trying different strategy, getting through or trying to go around. But very strong and agile wall, very impressive. And we have a little star slash who allows Arizona to get through the pack and make her initial pass. after getting out of the penalty box, while Peekaboo Panda is calling it just after managing to get her hips around the back end, and she manages to score 4 more points.
So that is 8 points for Amsterdam in that last jam, only 2 for Madrid. So Amsterdam closing down this gap. The rankings and the predictions said these would be very closely matched teams, and we are definitely seeing that on the track this afternoon. So on the Hive Skate Shop jam line, we have a timeout. So this timeout is brought to you by...
I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. By Have Skate Hub, whose Jamline sponsor Have Stall on the site. It provides a range of roller skating products.
They're located in Manchester City Centre, and you can find them on Facebook or in the venue. And if you're not here, you are missing out. Timeout is over. We have Pop Rocks up against Feminatrix on the Hive Skate Shop's jam line. Sorry, Hive Skate Hub jam line.
Yes, I can't say that. I'm sorry. I'm not an English speaker. It's mouthful.
Your English is much better than my French. So, both jammers, story of this game, both jammers stuck behind walls, but it is Pop Rocks who picks up a cut track penalty. So that is now a power jam to Madrid.
Yeah, it's with Feminatrix trying to get through the blockers from Amsterdam, and with the help and assist of her teammates, in particular from Ega de Odin, who's been a really, really good blocker assisting her jammer. She managed to get through some of them, but the Dutch players won't be forgotten and they have recycled. She manages to get through the pack at least.
But it's Feminatrix now approaching the pack for scoring pass. This is points now for Madrid. Pop Rocks is still stuck behind that 3 wall at the back. That is incredible defense from Madrid. That wall has now traveled the entire lap of the track and still holding back Pop Rocks. And that's number 61, Ija Dodan.
Ega de Odin. Daughter from of Odin. Okay, no injuries. I was a little bit worried to see all these skaters on the ground, but it seems that everybody is fine, and so everybody is back on the track.
So the defense is so tight that we're just seeing one pack rather than 2 separate lines, and that's when you're seeing spills having quite the effect on track. So on the Hive Skate Hub jam line, we are going to have a jam start to Madrid. So we're going to see number 92. That's Dame Veneno on the jam line. Amsterdam's jammer finishing the jam in the box. So this is a power start to Madrid. And it's Ferocious with the big hit out, but picking up a forearms penalty for doing that. So Amsterdam now with just 3 blockers on track, and Madrid keeping them really split up so that they can't form a wall.
And with the Madrid jammer getting really tired, I think that it almost was a low block because she tripped on some other players, and it was kind of difficult for her to get back on her skates.
But that wasn't awarded, so that was all fine by the refs. Some great offense from 8-7, Mariquita lets Dame Veneno through lead jammer, but that took 45 seconds, so that's a really effective penalty kill by Amsterdam yet again, giving away the penalties but not letting Madrid take any effect from them. But that's also Madrid sending their pivot to the box. 2 blockers for Madrid in the box and 4 Amsterdam on track. So Pop Rocks was coming through for points, and Dame Veneno saw the danger and called that jam. 4 points for Madrid, eking out that lead. 34 now playing 22. It's been 19 minutes in this jam, and we've scored 56 points across the 2 teams.
Which is nothing, with still a very short points difference between the 2 teams, who are really putting everything on the track. That's really impressive and really interesting.
So we have Ninasa on the jam line for Madrid up against Curse of the Black Pearl. Curse of the Black Pearl facing just one blocker on track and able to make the most of that. So lead jammer for Amsterdam, chance to close down this gap.
With both blockers from Madrid standing up, one is getting back on the track while an Amsterdam blocker is being sent to the penalty box. Will end this a first scoring pass for the Curse of the Black Pearl from the inside.
So Iron D-Doll doing some great defense, but it is Curse of the Black Pearl coming through for second scoring pass. Amsterdam reforming ahead of Nanaza, but Nanaza finally pushes them out of the way and completes her first pass. Curse of the Black Pearl step behind that formidable 3 formation from Madrid. Sees the danger, calls the jam. But that is 8 points for Amsterdam in that jam, taking them to 30, just 34 points for Madrid. 4-point game.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's really nice to see. I think both of the teams are now they've played like for 20 minutes and now they know their own the weaknesses of the opposing team. So they are really trying to play on them and get through the cracks.
So veer pressure on the high skate hub jam line. No, that was.
So what happened?
We have a quick official timeout. Who is this timeout brought to us by?
It's certainly brought us by KB Sports Massage, who does treatment tables here on site. Now you're very regretting not being there today. It's a Northampton injury clinic helping people from all ages of life with all musculoskeletal injuries, general aches and pains, sports and occupational injuries, and you can also find them on Facebook, but not get massage while on Facebook, which would be quite practical, I would say, but it doesn't exist yet.
So this first half of the game, 2 very equally matched teams about to get underway again. So on the high skate hub jam line, we have veer pressure for Amsterdam up against Arizona for Madrid.
And with the pack getting a bit closer to the German line just before the first whistle, veer pressure and Arizona getting back on each of the blockers wall, and the pack is stretching out over the German line and the pivot line, and veer pressure is through and getting the lead. It has been a few jams, I think, since Amsterdam got the lead so early on.
But veer pressure doing a good job in the pack, scoring points. Madrid have their pivot sent to the box, and that was a huge hit on Arizona from Ferocious. Recycled all the way back to the pivot line, so we're still only on turn 1, but veer pressure scoring. Arizona still yet to get out. And Arizona using the entire width of the track to try and get a chink in that Amsterdam wall, but there is no going.
No, all these Dutch players are really, really fast on their skates. Really tall, very difficult for her. She's trying to get through. But it is a strong walls, and these are really tall players. She's not tiny, but she seems a bit really small compared to the Dutch blockers, and it's very impressive for her to push them anywhere, the 3 of them.
But she does manage to get out. Arizona out of the box, completing her initial pass. Veer pressure still on that point scoring run, but sees the danger. Here's the bench manager, calls the jam, but picks up 4 points for Amsterdam in that last jam. So that takes them to 34. This is now a tied game.
I was very excited to see the numbers getting equal to each other.
Yeah. So Peekaboo Panda on the high skate hub jam line, giving her teammate a clearly much needed hug.
Yes.
Up against Feminatrix for Madrid.
And the hug that transforms into, a push. Like, oh, let's hug, and then I will push you through the wall, right?
Battering ram. So that's Major Knox being used as battering ram by Peekaboo Panda, but can't break through that Madrid wall up front. Number 517 going to the penalty box. Iron D-Doll. And now both jammers stuck behind walls of 3 because both teams have a blocker in the box. But that's...
Feminatrix already trying to... Ooh, we have an exchange of jammer. Feminatrix was in the back. Now she's in the front. And we have a whip that helped Peekaboo get through the pack and take the lead.
So Peekaboo Band able to use that whip to get the momentum to get through the pack and pick up lead. And Feminatrix still in the pack, still hasn't completed her initial pass.
Second scoring pass for Peekaboo, with the crowd getting a bit happier and cheering for the Dutches.
But we have
a star pass.
in Madrid. So we have Angie, the transfer in from Tiger Bay, which I'm of course going to mention, being from Wales. And if you can hear the audience, there is a very loud contingent from Tiger Bay who have come to support Angie, who is now jamming and has picked up 4 points and just approaching, forces that call off.
38 to 40.
So both teams picking up points in that jam. 4 for Madrid, taking them to 38. 6 for Amsterdam, taking them to 40. 5.5 minutes left in this game. This is so close.
It is, with Amsterdam having 6 jammer penalty during this first half time.
But what they have done is when they've given them up, when the jammer's been in the box, they haven't let Madrid score. Because normally you'd think 6 jammer penalties, Madrid would be much further ahead. On the Hive Skate Hub jam line, we have Dame Veneno for Madrid up against Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks being sent to the box almost straight away. Dame Veneno not eligible for lead. So this will be a full 2-minute jam. Oh! So Dame Veneno trying to take the outside line, gets the slightest nudge from Lee's Lightning and gets hit out and recycled. That was beautiful defense.
Was very nicely done. And she knew that she was being pushed out in a very small but effective way. She was full of hope. I'm feeling for Dame Veneno because her name is almost like mine. Toxic lady, Dame Veneno. So, you know, as a poisonous lady to another, I can feel for her.
Ferocious going in for a hit, but Dame Veneno going, yeah, and bring it. Beautiful to see. Jammer's just brushing off those big hits from the big blockers. But that is a multiplayer block penalty which has been assessed to Madrid's blockers. So Madrid with Amsterdam then with the blocker advantage. But the pack, again, being very closed up. But Madrid have the line up front. Amsterdam have the line in the rear. Ferocious goes in for offense on Madrid. But Dame Veneno not able to get offense due to the Madrid blocker being in the box. Pop Rocks pushing out front.
And the pivot from Amsterdam being sent to the penalty box for a forearm. That's how she pushed the Dame Veneno outside of the track.
I think Dame Veneno had to adjust her skates, which was the delay, but that has meant that Pop Rocks has made it out and completes her initial pass just at the end of 2 full minutes. I mean, this is how strong the defense is. 3 skaters in each pack, from each team in the pack, and the jammers are still struggling to get through.
Yeah. Because there's no assist, there's no possibility to get around these very strong tripods who are really as fast as they can. And we have an official review, which is a good moment to talk dirty about roller derby soaps, because we get very dirty playing roller derby, so it's important to have, you know, a hygiene. No, I think it's not optional. With roller derby is the brainchild of Becky, a roller derby and handmade loving human, and all her soaps are handmade and vegan, using all natural cruelty-free products, and smells incredible, which you have to believe us because you cannot smell them, and we have, and it smells lovely.
It does.
And compared to the other smells, you know, in the roller derby with the protection, and it's a good relief for the nose.
So while we're in this official review, I mean, I couldn't tell you right now who I think is going to win this game. It could be either team. We have just seen 2 very, very equally matched teams, both playing really, really, really strong defense. I mean, we're nearly at half time. We've got 3 minutes left to go. We've got Madrid on 42 points, Amsterdam on 40, so 82 points across the 2 teams.
it's nothing, and it's only
Yeah.
3 minutes left for the first half time,
Yeah.
so it's really nothing.
I mean, most teams are looking at scoring between 50 and 100 points a half.
Yes, yes.
And
And
that's not happening here.
and there's been only 13 jams, so
Yeah.
we've seen lots of long jams
Yep.
with no lead achieved.
Yeah.
So even though these almost 2 minutes or maybe more than 1 minute jams have not been successful in terms of points, but it was impossible to do otherwise. And now we will have some information about the official review. What was it for? Tell us everything.
So Amsterdam were looking for a blocking with the head penalty.
Ooh.
But we can see, we're just waiting to see whether the little dot on your screen is going to go back or not. Because that will tell us if they've won their official review or not.
The suspense is still going on.
And they lost their official review, so the blocking penalty was not assessed. We are back on Ninaza on the jam line for Madrid. Curse of the Black Pearl for Amsterdam. But Curse of the Black Pearl with a big slide out to the side and has been sent to the box for a penalty. I missed the hand signal.
Yeah, maybe as well with Nanasa, who's managed to get through the pack and made her initial pass, with 3 blockers only from Amsterdam on the track, with the pivot going back quickly. First scoring pass for Nanasa. Madrid trying to take the lead again on this game with 46 points and still 40 for Amsterdam.
But they are trying to make the most of this penalty power jam by having a goat at the back. They've been holding back an Amsterdam player who is now freed themselves, but Nanaza still having to push hard. So that choosing a goat meant they didn't go in for the offense, and so Nanaza is still stuck. Curse of the Black Pearl is now back on track, so that penalty has come to an end. And the team's stuck on on turn 2. But Nanaza sprints through almost to the surprise of
Need for Swede
Need for Swede, wrong
was
team.
trying to push her out on the last meter because he was allowed to.
But Nanaza now back, third scoring pass. This is a big jam for Madrid just as we start heading towards half-time. Nanaza hit out and recycled. Curse of the Black Pearl, I think, thinking she was being called for a penalty, but in fact had dropped the star. And so,
So
has
the
now
star pass was allowed and then taken away, I think.
Well, the penalty was assessed. Curse of the Black Pearl is in the bin. That's what we know.
Yeah.
So that's her third jammer penalty in this game so far. Which, we've seen Amsterdam with a high level of jammer penalties. But again, Madrid not really able to do anything with those. So that was 12 points for Madrid in that jam. Huge jam. I think the highest scoring jam we've seen in the game so far. Taking them to 54 points, but that's still only 14 points ahead of Amsterdam. We will have another jam in this half.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But there's a timeout, isn't there? I heard a whistle.
I heard a whistle.
Why? Waiting
It's
for
an
the hands
official
signal.
timeout. So while we're in this official timeout,
We can talk about Distro Hex, which is a workers' cooperative set up in November 2018 for the main purpose of creating and distributing propaganda in order to amplify the voices of the marginalized, the less heard, and the ordered. And this stall is bringing badges, books, patches, stickers, and signs here, and you can also find them on Facebook, Distro Hex or distrohex.org. I've seen their books; they're really interesting.
we're
Badges.
really grateful for all the sponsors and stall holders who are here at this fabulous weekend in Northampton, hosted by the fabulous Rebellion Roller Derby. I mean, why would you want to be anywhere else? You came all the way from Belgium
I
to
did.
spend the weekend in Northampton.
It did. And in the venue, I must say, there's also chips, and you can smell them from the microphone. I don't feel, it smells like Belgium. We also, we have,
But in
French fries.
35 seconds or more, you'll be able to go and get some at half time. So we're still waiting for the outcome of that timeout. So I think all the officials are talking a lot because there's a lot that's been going on. So I think they just want to make sure that everything is being tracked.
Well, it's difficult because we've seen some very fast actions, very fast blockers and jammers. So from different points of view, depending if you are skating officials outside of the track or inside, maybe you will have different points of view of what happened. And sometimes in microseconds, it's very, very different. It's very difficult to say who initiated some moves or not. Do we have any clue of what happened? We don't.
Nope, but we're underway again. So 54 now playing 40, 35 seconds left on the clock. We have veer pressure on the high skate hub jam line against
Dame Veneno for Madrid now.
Veer pressure against that Madrid line at the back. Dame Veneno up front, trying to find a chink in that Amsterdam wall, has some offense, but isn't able to break through. Veer pressure deciding to just push. Veer pressure is just going to push the pack out of their way.
And she manages to push the Madrid blockers into on blockers.
So veer pressure pushing at the back with everything that they have. We have Dame Veneno trying to go side to side up front, but is hit out and tried again. That was number 23 for Amsterdam. Dalai Drama, with that last second hit out, but didn't stop Dame Veneno, who is a lead jammer, and hit during that apex hop and just brushed it off. Such core strength from Dame Veneno. And that is 4 points for Madrid on the board. Now coming for 8. And it's a hop, skip, and a trip to the inside line from Sherlock Holmes. And that jam comes to an end. And that is the half.
With
so
58 points for Madrid and 40 out. Oh, sorry. I spoke too soon. 61. We are now at a 21 points difference. The highest that we've seen during this game. Very interesting game.
It is very closely matched teams, but Madrid had that really big jam of, sort of, I think 3-4 scoring passes, and that is the only difference between the two teams at the moment. 4 more come back in 15 minutes, and you'll see another 30 minutes of this thriller.
See you.
And welcome back to Game 4 on the first day of the Turing Cup. I'm Dork Mistress.
I'm Loud and Queer, joining you for the second half.
So, and you missed an amazing first half.
I saw some of it, and it looked pretty intense, and the score lines suggest that. 61 to Madrid, 40 to Amsterdam. What happens?
Well, if the jam period had ended 2 jams before, it'd be neck and neck. It was neck and neck the whole 28 minutes. Until this last 2 jams, Madrid had a 14-point scoring jam.
That's probably their biggest jam of the day so far. If I think about their game earlier on, they had quite a tricky first half against Namil Roller Girls. And then in the second half, they just came out blazing.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see if they're going to do that against Amsterdam, who incidentally had a great game this morning against the host Rebellion Roller Derby, taking the win.
So Amsterdam coming in as 3rd seed, so already tearing it up all over the place. So Madrid.
It up. So we are heading into the second half of this game with Peekaboo Panda on the line for Amsterdam, and we are starting with a power jam in Amsterdam's favour.
Yep.
But Amsterdam have 2 blockers in the box.
But they have Sherlock Holmes and Devious Dewi on the track and able to hold back Dame Veneno.
The butts of danger, as I call those 2.
I love that. Danger butts. So danger butts up front. We have Madrid with the rear line. But
Dalai Drama, watch out, Madrid.
And Ferocious, that is now a butt wall of doom.
But speaking of doom, Panda really having to push it against this beautiful one-on-one blocking at the front. She does make it through for lead status after over 30 seconds. Who's now jamming out of the box for Madrid, Dork?
It is Dame Veneno for Madrid, who we have seen have a spectacular game so far.
Superb footwork. Such a strong skater and completely fearless. That's Ferocious off to the box for Amsterdam. 3-on-3 on track in terms of blockers.
But that's a big recycle by Amsterdam on Dame Veneno. And it's not even the distance, it's the time that it's taking Madrid to get back on track, to get Dame back on track.
We've seen some very eco-friendly teams this weekend. You know, they're really, really enjoying their recycling.
I mean, Peekaboo Panda as the jammer able to recycle Dame Veneno. And bearing in mind that Amsterdam have the lead.
Oh, the crowd just gave a collective ooh there, as I think we had some contact to their face there, but on Dame Veneno. But she is back up and playing.
That was a big spill. But again, and this is, I think, about the 6th time in a row, Dame Veneno's been hit out to the outside and recycled at least quarter of the track. And this is just tiring and dispiriting.
Yeah, she just gives a little eye to her pivot there. That's Angie, who has a big old crowd in the audience. She, of course, used to play for Tiger Bay, so some of the old gang have come up to cheer her on. That seemed like that jam went on forever. 4 points for Amsterdam, 2 for Madrid.
And you know, and I think that when in the first game, as you said, Madrid came out in the second half on fire. And we haven't seen that yet in this jam. So hopefully they're just taking a jam or two to warm up. Or that Amsterdam have come out more on fire. 4 points to the 4-2 gap, helping Amsterdam close down that gap to Madrid.
Madrid storming out of the gate there with Ninaza picking up lead. Sorry, haven't read the names through yet. So she had a cracking first game earlier as well. Beautiful footwork.
Both Dame Veneno and Nananza, amazing jammers, and strong sort of 2 to 3 jammer rotation by Madrid.
Pop Rocks is jammer for Amsterdam right now. Pop Rocks in a bit of penalty trouble in the first half, 4 penalties to her name. But she always has a good time on track, which is the most important thing.
And again, we're seeing Amsterdam with the line at the back with the continuous hit out and recycle of the Madrid jammers.
I've loved this weekend so far the low slow derby that we've been seeing. I think the higher up derby goes at the moment, the slower the gameplay gets. We've seen very few big old track runarounds, and I'm here for it.
Maybe it'll be 20. Maybe it'll be 20 and 5 next time.
Oh, don't. There's talk on the forums at the moment of changing that rule. Anyway, Pop Rocks finally out of the pack on her initial pass for Amsterdam.
But that took over a minute. That took 1 minute 10 seconds. And, you know, until that one big... If we take out that one big jam from Madrid, every jam has been low points, but a long time to get them.
Like nickel and diming. Yeah. I mean, obviously I wasn't on stream for the first half. Were there any 2-minute jams where the jammer didn't get out? Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, we had one of those, and we had a number of jams where it was 1.5 minutes. 1 minute 50.
It's too long. Too long. I need to sit down after about 30 seconds when I play. I'm done now. Nap time.
So we have Curse of the Black Pearl on the jam line for Amsterdam up against Arizona for Madrid.
I swear Arizona only touches the floor 50% of the time. She's always on her toe stops, jumping up and down, trying to move this beastly Amsterdam wall. But it is Curse of the Black Pearl who comes sailing on through. You see what I did there? Everyone get that joke? I won't explain it because then it will lose its amusing quality. She is lead for Amsterdam.
Yeah. But you're very correct about Arizona being a very agile jammer. And Madrid's jammers are on the whole, but Amsterdam are a very physically big team.
Oof, I know.
And so they're able to cover that whole track with just a wall of 3.
Each blocker is a wall unto themselves on Amsterdam.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, that has been really difficult for Madrid to sort of get used to. It's not their normal kind of game.
Amsterdam have been playing very smart zonal defense where each of the blockers holds a lane or a space and doesn't fuss so much about getting back together with their wall until the wall comes to them.
But Madrid's 3 walls, they're not using zonal defense so much, but their 3 walls are impenetrable.
Oh God, it looks horrendous. I would hate it. No jamming against Madrid's walls for me ever, please.
But we have Devious Dowie back on track from the penalty box. We have an empty penalty box.
Turn 1 at the place to be right now. Both jammers locked down. Madrid's jammer escorted to the infield courtesy of Devious Dowie.
And we have a star pass. Madrid have passed the star now to Hawaii.
Woo. Hawaii's been put in a shift in this tournament, hasn't she? I've seen her just on track all the time.
But what we have seen is that Madrid don't pass the star that often.
No, they didn't. Like earlier on in their game, it's Namur. I think it was something like Namur used something like 12 star passes to Madrid's 3.
Yeah.
But
they're having to use it more in this game, and I think that's because Amsterdam's blockers are not letting them, they're forcing those star passes.
For sure. That was a 7-all jam in the last jam. We now have Feminatrix and Veer Pressure for Madrid and Amsterdam, respectively. Lovely flat wall there from Madrid at the back, now being turned into more of a tripod. And Veer Pressure unable to make much movement. Just I say that, there they go. They have a very tenacious blocker at the front to meet. Now being joined by Angie.
And we just see both games that I've watched today, those 3 walls are just so strong. And we're seeing, blocking right over the line, because quite often when it's a 3 wall, they do leave a gap. That does not happen in these games.
Yeah, they're not letting the jammers run the lines like they'd like to. We know Madrid's jammers love to run the lines. Amsterdam being quite good with that coverage. No lead jammer yet, and almost a minute elapsed on the jam clock. Veer Pressure now at the back of the pack. Madrid's jammer at the front. Now it's all of a tangle over in the far straightaway. Go refill your drinks, folks. It looks like we're stuck here for a little bit.
And we've seen this consistently through the first half, that it's just the defense is so super strong. That's why we're having such a low-scoring game. But Veer Pressure does make it out. Lead jammer for Amsterdam.
Yeah, it took 3/4 of the jam time to get that happen, but they asked for 2 offensive players to go in and help, which gave them that space to pick up leads. Now being held up in the apex. Angie with the star pass. Now active jammer for Madrid. Good to see Angie with the star again.
But it's just solid defense. If I was teaching new skaters about how does roller derby work, I would be using this game as how do you do defense.
It's really, really lovely. And the jam comes to a natural conclusion there with little see. Veer Pressure did manage to put up the full 4 points. Angie putting up 2 to her name for Madrid.
So that's 20 points between the two teams. Madrid 75, Amsterdam 55. And we've got just 21 minutes left in this game. And it could be either team. I mean, that gap has not narrowed, really.
And that's been representative of the whole tournament, really, so far. There's been no blowout games. It's been really tight matchups all the way, which is lovely. Bit of a spill in the near straightaway here. Peekaboo Panda currently lead for Amsterdam. And Dalai Drama spilling Dame Veneno to the outfield, getting a penalty for her troubles. I've got to tell you, I've been on the receiving end of one of Dalai's hits, and it is death.
Oh, but that was also beautiful. And that was Davius Dowie. There was no force into that hit, but there was no way that Dame Veneno was going to be able to stay on track.
Yeah, I think Amsterdam's lateral blocking has been superb this weekend, but Madrid are just able to fill gaps. They're just able to get in all these spaces, even when there's only 2 of them. And when they can get the Amsterdam jammer behind a wall of 3, they can't get through. As we can see, the Peekaboo Panda still there. We have, however, had a star pass, but the jammer ref is saying that number 33 is not the jammer, so it was an illegal star pass manoeuvre. Speaking of that jammer ref, just as we go into a timeout, I believe, for injury, it's worth giving a shout out on the stream to Tiny Tearaway, the jammer ref for Madrid this half. This is her 150th game, which is such an incredible achievement, and a nicer person you could not ask to have that accolade. And
when you think about how many weekends that is that somebody has given up, plus all the training and the preparation time and the travel,
and no payment,
no payment,
and no. Yeah, I went there, folks. There's no money in roller derby. Oh, it's an awkward topic, isn't it? Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about a sponsor for this weekend.
Let's talk about Roller Derby City, because I popped over to visit them earlier. Roller Derby City are a Roller Derby owned and operated merch and kit company supplying skaters, refs, officials and fans with custom kit and merch since 2010. Their merch is great quality and they have kit for roller derby teams, skaters, referees, officials and fans, including scrimmage shirts, team merch, customised referee and official tops, helmet decals and more. So you can check them out on Facebook. You can find them on their website at rollerderbycity.com.
Or you can see them at pretty much every tournament in the UK and a fair amount of those in Europe.
Yeah, they've made some awesome shirts for the tournament here today, which are great. And they've also got these lovely sleeveless hoodies, which went and tried earlier, and I'm just going to live in them forever.
I think actually half my wardrobe is from Roller Derby City.
Yeah, same. I think, and the irony is that tomorrow I'm running Roller Derby City, but today...
Oh, no, I actually have a non-derby piece of clothing. I have a dress
Get out.
for tomorrow. Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Not allowed.
I'm going posh.
Have we talked about our officials this game so far, Dork?
Yes, we have.
Apart from Tiny
yes,
being wonderful.
We have. But we are really grateful to the officials. So on skates today, we have Slane, Big Whoop, Tiny Tearaway, Stomp'em, Russ, Lucas, Dr. Watt and Saz.
Our NSOs for today are Hannah, Lindsay Needles, Lord Have Mercy, Hannah, Domination, Lola Rock and Roller, Mina Harker, Lamesh Tesse. I can't pronounce that. I'm really sorry. Do you know how to pronounce that one?
Lamesh Sese?
Lamesh Tesse. I think that is it. Dorian Gray, Lauren Smackle, Ginger Snaps, and Elevator. And what a fine job they do.
And they had pizza earlier and they shared it with us, which was lovely. I know.
Nobody knows about the secret pizza in the venue.
Oh, we ate the secret pizza. There's no more pizza left.
There's going to be pizza tomorrow. I've got to promise. Anyway, we are back, and it is Pop Rocks lining up for Amsterdam, and that is 8-8 Ninaza.
And it is Pop Rocks with the Madrid line at the back. It's Ninaza who is literally dancing around, trying to break up that Amsterdam wall, but that Amsterdam wall is all legs.
She never stays still, and that is her main skill as a jammer. Like, she doesn't... It's not juking she does. She just, as you say, she dances to just get the wall to adjust slightly. And that's where her power comes from. Pop Rock's been drawn back by Angie, almost halfway back to the jammer line.
But Amsterdam are able to use their hikes. Their blockers are significantly taller than the Madrid jammers and blockers. Able to use that to their advantage to try and hold back Ninaza because they can cover so much of the track.
Minaza coming round, using hand gestures to say calm it down a bit. Pop Rocks has removed the star for Amsterdam and has passed it off to number 68. That's Lee's Lightning.
But Nanaza completing for another 4 points. Now coming up to the pack for her third scoring pass.
Not sure that was a tactical star pass made by Amsterdam. I think Pop Rocks was genuinely really, really beat, as anyone would be, being stuck in that kind of wall.
And again, it's Lee's Lightning having the same trouble. 2 or 3 Madrid blockers together are devastating.
Yeah, just trying to push out those Madrid blockers. A multiplayer called on one of them. Lee's Lightning almost, and she does complete that trip through the pack. Before the jam is called.
That was a very long jam.
Every jam is feeling like years. Pop Rock's heading to the box at the end of that jam as a blocker.
So it will be starting off with a blocker advantage to Amsterdam.
Oh no, Madrid have... No, there's one apiece in the box. So 3 on 3 in the pack. And I am reliably informed by our producer, Best Trouble, that was the highest scoring jam for Madrid this half at 11 points.
Well, that was a bit exciting. So it was 5 seconds to go, and Amsterdam weren't on the track, and I didn't see anybody calling a timeout, and I'm like,
what's happening?
But Amsterdam did call that team timeout, which is brought to you by Derpy Prints. Derpy Prints of fun-filled and often roller derby-inspired art. Find out more at Etsy or on Facebook, or visit them here. And if you aren't here, you
are... Why wouldn't you come to Northampton? The jewel of the Midlands.
But
it is actually a really lovely place. I'm not being sarcastic.
And we've actually got a fantastic turnout, great atmosphere in the venue.
The venue's fab. We've had trampolining over the other side, and all the kids keep coming in here by accident and going, is this where the trampolining is? And we're like, no, dear child, but please watch.
But
learn.
what we get to see being sat here is we can just see randomly people coming up and down behind the curtain. We just see people suddenly appear in the middle of the air.
Not paid for a ticket though, have they? Pesky punters leaping up on their trampoline so they can watch the roller derby.
So we are back underway. Madrid on 86, Amsterdam on 63. 17 minutes left in this game, and it is Arizona on the jam line for Amsterdam up against Curse of the Black Pearl for Arizona for Madrid, Curse of the Black Pearl for Amsterdam.
It would be well confusing if it was Arizona for Arizona, wouldn't it? That little lateral hop from Curse of the Black Pearl. Just beautiful.
But we were talking about lateral blocking, and Madrid left that line open. And so Curse was able to get through.
With a blocker down. No such mistake made this time, though. As Curse of the Black Pearl comes around for a scoring pass, but is drawn back. Madrid covering these edges beautifully now.
Arizona again trying to find a chink on that wall of Amsterdam up front, now at the rear as the pack reforms around them. And Arizona now having to push.
Madrid losing another blocker to the box, but Ihad Orhan is back on track in attendance at the front and locking this 3-wall down. Pop Rocks coming in for some offense, trying to get Curse of the Black Pearl to move a few inches.
That was great distraction from Madrid as the Amsterdam blockers looked up and Arizona was gone.
She's very sneaky. How could an entire state just disappear like that? Oh, how we laughed.
So
it's been a long day, folks. I'm not going to apologise for the state of my jokes. They'll be better tomorrow morning.
But
we hope.
You become an announcer when you love dad jokes. The two go together, dad joke, love, and announcing.
I do love a dad joke.
Yeah, I love a dad joke. So, 4 points for Amsterdam in that last jam, taking them to 67. So, bearing in mind, we started this half with 19 points between the two teams. We are 19 points between the two teams.
Almost like there's been very little difference in the gameplay and success of the gameplay and strategies.
I think it just shows how so equally matched both teams are.
And it's also interesting, though, to point out, Betty's just pointed out to me that it's been a much cleaner game in terms of jammer penalties this half. Announcer curse incoming. No jammer penalties yet this half. But
Why did you do that?
Because Betty told me to, and she's the producer, and I have to listen to her. But there were 11 penalties total jammer-wise in the first half, so those half-time talks, cleaning it up, shaping it a bit better, obviously working.
So we're nearly 1 minute into this jam. No lead jammer, still on initial passes, still stuck behind walls of blockers. And we're on the far straightaway now.
It's interesting to think about, because I think, as you say that, Madrid does pick up lead status. That's Feminatrix. I was going to say something about jammers who don't get leads still being important, but I'll come to that later. It's important.
But that took a minute.
It did. It was a long minute.
And we just keep saying this because it is so true. These teams are so equally matched. They're both so good at defense that they are just, they can't get away from each other.
Feminatrix being held up in the apex by a brutal blocking duo there. That is, one of them is number 5-1 Versten.
And both lines now together in a scrum pack on turn 3.
Veer Pressure has removed the star, trying to find a gap, but as you said, everything is just blended together. There's no distinct walls. A forearms penalty now being picked up
on the jammer, so that will be a power jam start to Amsterdam at the start of the next jam. So the worst time to get a penalty, literally 1 second before the whistle.
And when that penalty was called, Betty just grabbed me and she went, "No, jammer penalty, I'm sorry." It is our fault when we say there's been no jammer penalties and the jammer gets it. We take full responsibility. We're really sorry.
But announcer's curse is a for real thing.
Oh, it is completely.
So Peekaboo Panda on the jam line up against Dame Veneno.
And Panda trying the outside line there, finding it shut down. Lovely fluid tripod movement here from Madrid. Bit more chaotic from Amsterdam.
But I'm just seeing some beautiful waterfall blocking, absolutely fluid and effortless from the Amsterdam blockers, and that forcing that recycle on Dame Venero all the way back to the back.
Dalai Drama in the wall there with Sherlock Holmes and Devious Joey. And now Panda really pushing the front wall, everything becoming blended again. Players taking each other on one-on-one to try to break up those defensive formations.
And we are at nearly a minute into this jam. Yet again, no lead jammer, not got past turn one.
Yep. Panda is definitely in the position. She's kind of looking back going, please, one of you come help me. But Amsterdam have to concentrate on this defense right now.
And it is taking all four of them, because Madrid going in with the offense. So Amsterdam not able to free someone up. Just as I say that, that is a 7-1-1 peak.
That's Dalai Drama going in.
Yeah.
Number 2-3 for Amsterdam, leaving Thurston at the back of the pack. Oh, and a shoelace mishap, unfortunately, for... It's not Feminatrix jamming?
No.
I don't think it is.
No, it is Dame Veneno.
Yeah. Sorry, it says on the screen Feminatrix, but it is actually Dame Veneno. Ties a shoelace, cool as you please. And just as she's back on track, there goes Panda with 12 seconds remaining on the clock. Star pass going to Hawaii of Madrid. Can Panda get a point? There's one, there's two, there's three.
But no,
and yeah, that's 3 points.
Yeah.
Picked up in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Foul noises.
If you're a blocker, this is like your dream game.
Is it? I'd be exhausted.
Oh,
I'd be
no,
like,
to
I'd be
watch
like,
and
I've done
aspire to be in.
I've done a good job. Let me sit down now. 20-point differential between these two teams. Madrid still holding that lead, and 4-3 in the pack. Amsterdam's advantage as we head into Jam 10 of the second half.
So we've only scored 160 points across both teams in 50 minutes of play.
Here's something interesting. Leafs Lightning is on track for Amsterdam as a jammer. I think that's the first time Lisa started with the star.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a fair decision. She's a great skater and a phenomenal kind of triple threat.
But I think it's a sign that Amsterdam are trying to break up this dynamic of the slow, tough derby. They're trying something different, trying a different jammer, means a different style.
Yeah, Lisa's super gutsy, but at the moment Madrid finding themselves equal to her. Minaza being held at the back by Ferocious and Need for Sweet. And Minaza, not for the first time this weekend, taking a pause before heading into the wall. I can never decide if it's a fake out or if she's genuinely winded.
I think I'm going to have a quick think, reset, re-go. But in the meantime, Leeds Lightning has got out, got lead, and is back in the pack with just 2 Madrid blockers ahead. And actually completes that 4-point scoring pass.
And this is why I love a relief jammer. Their job is not to do fancy stuff on the track and to rack up loads of points. Their job is to stay clean and safe. Like, if you're a relief jammer and you go on and you get a penalty, nuh-uh. But Lise is playing it great right now.
And just try something different.
Angie with the star pass for Madrid, and the stadium erupts. Oh, fun fact from Betty, and this might not sound totally correct with the points on the end of that jam, but in the middle of that jam, it was pointed out that Amsterdam have had leads 6 times to Madrid's 3 this half, but both teams had scored 29 points each this half. Quick maths. Thanks, Betty. So the score now 90-78. We have a 12-point spread, and I need a drink.
But we have 8 minutes, 17 seconds left in this game.
I think you were right about Amsterdam shaking it up, because they put out Dalai Drama with the star. And what was I saying about relief jammers? Don't get a penalty. Oh, no, she hasn't got a penalty. She's on. Ooh. And Dalai Drama goes on, throws a hit into Arizona, keeps on jamming.
But both jammers in the pack, stuck in the pack. But Arizona now scoring points. Dalai Drama.
Yeah, Arizona has lead. Sorry,
Yeah.
we did forget to say that, but she's doing very well.
But Dalai Drama is out of the pack, so it'll be interesting to see what Arizona does next.
Arizona goes, nah. I think anyone who's been on the receiving end of one of Drama's hits knows to call the jam before she hits your wall.
I felt the ground ripple with that one.
She's just like, I want to rename her the Flying Dutchman because she sends people literally flying all fours off the ground, and it's super fun to watch.
But we are back to a more traditional lineup for Amsterdam with Peekaboo Panda on the jam line up against Feminatrix.
Ain't nothing traditional about Peekaboo Panda. She's a rebel. Here she goes.
Also one of the loveliest people in Roller Derby.
God, absolutely, 100%. Best makeup too. She is having a bit of trouble against Madrid's wall. We have Feminatrix, who is tiny in stature, but absolutely ferocious, really grinding up against these Amsterdam blockers, who are doing a great job plugging this space. Panda also showing some great awareness there.
But that was fantastic footwork by Feminatrix on that outside line, able to get through and get lead.
Oh, and Devious Debbie comes in, sends Feminatrix to the outsides. She's just her lateral hits.
Devious Dewi's track awareness and ability to cover, the lateral blocking is just genius. But that's a forearms penalty for Peekaboo Panda, so this is now a power jam to Madrid.
And that's the first jammer penalty that Amsterdam have had this half, I think. So they're definitely playing a lot cleaner. But this is not a good time to get one with 15 points in it.
But what we have seen is that Amsterdam gave away a lot of jammer penalties in the first half. But it didn't matter because their penalty kills, their blocking was so strong that Madrid weren't able to capitalise on it. And I think we're seeing that very much here.
Oh, look, we've got a pace line on track. Lovely. Everyone stand in a line.
And pretend it's 2014.
Oh, there's Lee's Lightning with the drawback on Feminazi just as Peekaboo Panda re-enters play. Nice power kill there by Amsterdam. Really, really great derby.
So if you're going to give up a power jam, at least make sure that you don't let the other team score.
And now we're in the sad place at the back. Oh no, I thought Panda had another penalty and my heart dropped. No, she's through.
But that jam comes to the end. And again, it's these long, grinding jams. I think that both teams will be very grateful that this is their last game today.
Yeah, bang for your buck, though, if you're watching. Oh, an official review. This is normally when I run into the middle, but I've got a microphone. It's a timeout. Well, that's less fun, isn't it? Well, it's not less fun because we get to talk about our wonderful sponsors. Always the most fun. So I want to talk to you about Roller Derby soaps, who I actually do use, and they are phenomenal. Roller Derby is the brainchild of Becky, a roller derby and handmade loving human. All of the soaps are handmade and vegan, using all natural, cruelty-free products, and they smell incredible. You can find Roller Derby on Facebook and Etsy or in the venue.
So one of the best stroke worst things about announcing is we have the best seat in the house, but it does mean that everybody comes by with their kits, on skates.
You get the waft.
We get the waft.
Oh, you can't get that over the stream, folks.
No.
You've got to be here to experience it.
And it has to be said, officials are as bad as the skaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all equal in smell.
So we wish that they would all use roller dirty soaps.
Have you been into the officials room? It's a hothouse of stank. So please, yes, buy the soaps. They are also, just a fun little fact, I'm at a tournament next weekend called STEM Roller, which is all about promoting STEM to specifically or mostly targeted at girls in in their teenage years. And all the participants are going to be like STEM professionals, and that's great. But Roller Derby Soaps has given us little gifts for all the participants. The skaters, that is, not the kids. The kids don't need it. The kids smell fine. Oh, Devious Debbie with the shut down on the outside line. Oof, I felt that in my ribs.
I think Dame Veneno is going to need an ice bath after this game.
Dame Veneno is going to send assassins out of Stevia's Debbie and be like, I'm going to kill you. But it is a power jam. What is happening?
So Curse of the Black Pearl in the penalty box for Amsterdam. Dame Veneno just having, I think, her soul crushed.
I'm having my soul crushed just looking at it, but she is so resilient. Look, she keeps going. Comes up against Starlight Drama and Ferocious. Taken to the outfield. Drama with the drawback. Dame Veneno just going, oh, for goodness sakes. Let me through, please.
I'm so done with this.
Madrid being very patient, setting up that offense. Oh, big old spill to the infield.
And that's unfortunate because Madrid had actually offensively worked perfectly to free that inside lineup.
And it's a track cut for Dame Veneno. She wasn't sure. She got up, she kept going. There was a bit of consultation between the jam ref and the head ref, and then the penalty was called. So that is going to be... Is that a 2-minute jam? Was Curse the Black Pearl called leads? Not Curse the Black Pearl. Was Dame Veneno called leads?
I believe so.
We don't know. It's been a very long day. No. So this is... So lead is still open because she's coming out of the box.
No, because she'd already completed her initial pass, so she may have been.
Oh, do you know what?
It's been a long day.
I'm normally very good at the rules. Not when I play, of course, as my coach would attest. But when I announce, I'm normally very hot on.
Stuff is happening.
Stuff's happening. It's only 5 seconds till the end of the jam, and everyone can forget that I made this massive mistake. Please play the whistle now. Thank you. Very good. 4 hard-fought points going up there at the end for Amsterdam. That's a big old jam for Amsterdam.
Yeah, huge jam, closing down that gap. Just
6 points in it. Oof.
So I think this game has hung on 2 really, really important jams. This jam and the jam that Madrid had, the penultimate jam in the first half, where they opened up that lead. Amsterdam have kept up with them this whole way and have now just had their own big jam.
Yeah, no, Betty just pointed out that was the biggest jam for the half of... for Amsterdam of the half. Ooh, words in order. This pit is getting opened up by 6 points.
So 2 minutes 57 left in this game, and it is anyone. Ninaza lining up on the Hive Skate Hub jam line for Madrid. But I think it is Amsterdam who have called the timeout.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. It's very tense.
No, it's an official timeout. No, it's a...
Something's happening. People are coming. Oh, they're putting Drama out to jam again. Yeah. Interesting. Thing is with Drama, she's got such an energy about her when she skates. Like, she's so unpredictable as a jammer, and like solid as anything as a blocker. Like, unreal blocking skills, but has zero fear as a jammer. Like, will fling herself at anything and take her opposition by surprise. I'm a bit of a fangirl of Drama, I'm not going to lie. She's a phenomenal skater.
So if you're wondering why we're still in timeout, I think Amsterdam called a timeout and then Madrid have now called a timeout.
Sports. Well, do you know what? Take it easy now because don't forget, after this we hit the final game of today. I will be on the stream for that one as well. It's going to be good fun, and it's going to be Oxford versus Leeds. Now, Oxford are one of my favourite teams to watch and to announce for.
So Leeds have been working really hard in the last sort of year, 18 months, going to loads of tournaments around Europe, playing all sorts of people to try and raise their game, play different people. Oxford haven't, I don't think, had that much opportunity, so for them to play Leeds is a great opportunity.
Oxford aren't a WFTDA league, unlike Leeds, so that would partly be why. But no, Oxford have a very strong program. They've got veteran players, and I think it would be a fab matchup. But in the meantime, we've still got a couple of minutes left of this game, and there goes Starlight Drama muscling through Madrid to pick up lead. But it's Angie with that star again. She is putting her shift in. She's giving the people what they want. Oh god, this is so tense. I can't even take it. Everyone's falling down. Angie tries the apex stop, but it doesn't quite land it.
That inside line wasn't quite open enough, but finds a gap on the outside and races past Amsterdam to complete that scoring pass.
No, she doesn't. She's got a track cut. Oh, It was so close, but those OPRs relayed that message. So it's a much-needed power jam for Amsterdam and Dalai Drama. If Drama can get a couple of passes in, she might make this a lead change. Beautiful spin there from Drama. And a minute left on this jam clock. 2 minutes on the period clock, so still time.
And that second scoring pass for Dalai Drama going on right now.
Oh, things happening there, because jam ref called a no pass, no penalty on Drama. Drama then called the jam, but the IPR is saying no, that was a track cut.
And there's already an official review being called by Amsterdam. To nobody's surprise at that.
Is it being called by Amsterdam?
I saw Amsterdam
What, to say
bench
that it was fine, okay.
call for an official review, but I suspect that the officials were already discussing it, which is why we're in a timeout, not an official review.
Yes,
So-
and Stompham is putting up 3 points for Amsterdam, so it looks like those 3 points were legally obtained.
So everybody's just going, ooh.
I'm quite surprised that Madrid didn't call an official review on that track cut, but I suppose we couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Angie looked pretty confident that she'd landed it in, but you just never totally know.
Nope. Which is why we have 7 referees.
Look at this score. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it again. You are seeing a 1 point differential there, folks. And I've literally got goosebumps. It may be because it's quite cold in the venue, but it's also very tense.
If you're coming tomorrow, bring a blanket. 98, now playing 97. 1 minute 28 left to go. We're still in a timeout.
And Amsterdam putting out a power wall there. That's whipping red siren. Shelock Holmes, Ferocious and Devious Derby. And for Madrid, we've got Hawaii. We've got Arizona jamming.
Up against Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see who those other Madrid blockers are. I want to make sure I give them their due diligence. But we've got Angie out again, and we've got Iha de Orden. Oh my goodness! And it's Arizona with the lead for Madrid.
That was amazing footwork from Arizona to get through that tiny gap and pick up lead. But now faces that wall of doom, the wall of butt doom at the back.
Oh, and it's a high block going to Ferocious. I thought it was to the Madrid jammer, and she calls the jam. We've got time left on the jam clock,
and we have an official review has been called by Amsterdam.
Oof.
So Amsterdam didn't have any timeouts left.
No.
They were going to call an official review in the last jam, but didn't need to because the officials were reviewing it themselves. So kept their official review and are now using it to get, I presume, to make sure that they get everything correct ahead of what is 51 seconds on the period clock.
And it looks like as well that Amsterdam are putting out number 7-1 Need for Swede with the Jammer Star for this next jam, which is a really interesting decision given that we're probably heading into the last jam.
And this is a full-on official review. This is not an official review as a timeout. So the Amsterdam bench is looking for a decision.
Yeah, we'll try to find out what that is for you. I imagine it's going to be looking to overturn that high block on Ferocious. I think that, I'm literally just predicting here because I've got time to do so. I would say that they're going to argue that a jammer initiated the contact, but I could be lying, people of the internet. Not deliberately, of course, because I love you all dearly, and I would never lie to you consciously.
So it's just there's some unusual noises from the audience.
That's the Vendetta Vixens. That's just what they do.
I've not
Lovely
come across
team.
this.
Oh, they're a lovely team.
But what are they doing? Please explain.
They're just whooping, I think. I
Okay.
think they're just having a lovely time.
Well, this is one of the most exciting games.
Yeah, it's a 4-point difference. Words, sentences.
So, 51 seconds left on the clock. 101 plays 97. Need for Swede on the jam line against Dame Veneno.
And trying to draw a track cut on Dame Veneno doesn't quite work. She's got a big old smile on her face with her lead status. She just needs to stay clean. this will be a really bad time to get a jam on penalty.
But there's already been a star pass by Amsterdam. It is Lee's Lightning now jamming for Amsterdam. Dame Veneno at the back of the pack.
Just that Amsterdam were requesting that a 4 arms penalty be issued to a Madrid player in the last jam, but the no call did stand. So no review was upheld. Things are happening. Dame Veneno is just taking her time with the period clock.
Just running it down.
And calls the jam. Oh my days and stars. Madrid explode. And we've got a big old crowd in the audience. There's Namur giving them a good old cheer too. Woo!
And what a change a year brings. So a year ago, 27th of April 2019, these two teams last played. Amsterdam won fairly comfortably by 22 points. And this now is the other way around by just 7 points.
I mean, it just goes to show that it all comes down to the day sometimes. But, like, that could have gone either way.
Yep.
Multiple times throughout the game. And what a cracking game of defence from Amsterdam. Like, you know, they killed power jams left, right and centre. They made those jammers, like, grind out points.
But you think most teams expect to score between 100 and 200 points whether they win or lose. Both teams only just hovering around 100. Again, just a sign of the incredible defence.
Yeah, and that is the final score called now. 104 to Madrid, 97 to Amsterdam. And just another excellent game in the books for both teams. They should both be really proud of that. Who was predicted to win that game?
It was Madrid that were predicted to win that game, but Flat Track Stats was saying that for every 19 points Amsterdam score, Madrid would score 25. So they were projecting a much higher points differential.
So in terms of rankings, this will do Amsterdam a big solid potentially.
Well, they won't lose anything rankings-wise, by unlikely to, because they're so closely matched. And in terms of WFTDA rankings, Madrid are currently ranked 22 in Europe. Amsterdam 23.
Oh yeah.
So it's really, you know, that's not going to have a huge impact. It's kind of gone as is expected.
And it's really nice to see that mirrored in the score, isn't it? We don't like blowout games at all. We are going to take a short break whilst Oxford and Leeds warm up for the last game of the day. It is currently 5:51. We are scheduled to have that game on stream for you at 6 o'clock, but it will probably be more likely 10 past 6 because both teams have to warm up. We do hope actually no, we're not even streaming. This isn't even live. You'll watch this on YouTube and you'll be able to fast forward through all my nonsense, but we will leave it for now. I've been Loud and Queer.
I've been Dork Mistress.
We've been joined in production by Bessie Trouble, and we hope you've had as wonderful a time as we did.